Stop number 22 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to motorsport's most hallowed ground. It seems that every motorsport does have one, it seems like. For Formula One, it's Monaco. For drag racing, it's Lucas Oil Raceway, home of the U.S. Nationals. For NASCAR, it's places like Talladega, Daytona, or Charlotte. But overall, the racing capital of the world is without question Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As today we're here for the running of the Brickyard 400 for the 22nd stop on the series. On its historic 2.5-mile rectangle-shaped racetrack, home of the ever-famous Indianapolis 500, ever held every Memorial Day, and of course, ever since 1994, it's been home to the NASCAR's Brickyard 400. So 24 laps of the order of the day here today, and here's the starting line for the race. On the pole, car number 1 starts P number 1. It is Diego Yepes on the pole for today's event at 170 miles per hour. He'll be alongside three-time winner of the season, Cole Deaver in the GM Given Chevrolet car number 3. His wins came in Atlanta, Martinsville, and Riverside. Second row has car 24, Charles Sanford, the DuPont Chevrolet car 24, three-time winner of the season. His wins came at Talladega, the first Talladega race, the first Pocono race, and the 600 at Charlotte. He's alongside the man who dominated at Dover, Johnny Gardner, the Hooters Ford car number 7. Third row has Dylan Poteet, the 22 Maxwell House Ford, and Jessica Shelton, two-time winner of the season, in the Budweiser Ford car number 11. Her wins came at Texas and Darlington. Fourth row has a Quaker State Ford car number 26 of Sky Comets and the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet of William Brock, who won his season at Rockingham. Fifth row has the Valvoline Ford car number 6 of Becca Toyer, who won at New Hampshire, and two-time winner of the season, Quentin Moore, whose wins came at North Wilkesboro, and again at the second race at Pocono. Sixth row will have car number 2, the winner at Michigan, Dylan Young, Miller Jr. and Draft Pontiac, and number 18 Preston Ford in the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. Next row down is Ty Dent, the number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac, and Jesse Turner in car number 71. His car is a Chevrolet. Next row down has Keith Batson as one of our 3 in-car cameras in today's event. The number 20 at Texaco Haviland Ford. His win came at Sonoma this season. And number 9, the Orkin Pest Control Ford of Simon Bloomfield as the outside. Next row down has the winner of the second Talladega race this season, Jay Jefferson, number 5 Tide Chevrolet. Broke through that very first win. And his Hendrick teammate, car number 25, it is Jonathan Zorlin sitting alongside in the Kodiak Chevrolet. Next row down has Nathan Orman in a Jasper Engines Ford car number 55, and number 75, James Henry sits alongside the Factory Source of America Ford. Next row down has number 17, Zach Winkle in the Western Auto Chevrolet, and number 14, Nicholas Wade in the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet. Next row down has Seth Cullen in the number 98 Bojangles Ford, who has our second in-car camera, and he'll be alongside number 40. It is Mitchell Collins who won the 400 this season down in Daytona. Next row down has number 31 Jose Mills in the Bomb Pops Biscuits Goodrich Chevrolet, and the McDonald's Ford number 27 Riley Spurley too sits alongside. Next row down has the winner at Auto Club this season, Mike Becker in the 44 STP Pontiac, and Kyle Matthews, number 42 Millie Yellow Pontiac, who has our third in-car camera. His wins this season came at Richmond and Bristol. Next row down has number 16 Cat Batson in the Keystone Beer Planters Ford, and the Daytona 500 champion Eli Brighton in the number 8 Ray Bess's Ford. Next row down has Joshua Osborne, number 15 in Motorcraft Ford, and number 33 Ryan Brommer in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. Next row down is Rob Evans, number 12 Meineke Mufflers Ford, and Zachary Fitzwater, number 52 in the Napa Auto Parts Ford. Next row down is TJ Denton, 68, the Country Time Lemonade Ford, and number 83 Vince Almarego in the Purex Detergent Ford. And starting shotgun in the field will be Paul Minnick in the number 90 Heilig Myers Ford. Commands will be given the fire engines. We get some racing here today command will be given the fire engines as we get some racing here at the Brickyard Corner. Here comes the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So all 37 cars have fired up again. Keith Batson, Kyle Matthews, and Seth Cole has our in-car cameras in today's event here at Indianapolis. And a surprise pole starter in some ways, Diego Yepes, who has the pole at 170 miles per hour. It's a Ford Chevy front row. Ford Chevy has the second row. And it's all Ford on the third row here as the field rounds the second turn. We'll be back with the green flag right after this. Back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the pace cars is leading the field through the fourth turn. Diego Yepes, number 1 Skull Classic Ford, and Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet has the front for this race today. Both cars qualified at over 170 miles per hour as the field rounds the fourth turn. Start-finish line they come, beautifully precisionally lined up at this point. But here they come, the green flag is out, and boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. Down the back stretch into turn number 3, Dylan Poteet looking inside of Charles Sanford, who takes the lead for the moment. And whoa, he and Yepes got together going through the third and fourth turns here. Or the third turn, excuse me. That cost Sanford the lead, and Poteet's going to take the lead on the first lap of this race. Boy, that was almost a certain record there between Diego Yepes and Charles Sanford as they almost crashed in the third turn. But Dylan Poteet will lead the first lap of this race here, and here comes number 26, Sky Commons, who's now second. Sanford drops to 4th position behind Cole Deaver, and Yepes has dropped to 7th on the first lap of this race. Dylan Young is moved up into the 5th position as the Dylans battle side by side. Young in the 2 and Poteet in 22. And Ty Dent looks inside with the help of Keith Batson in car number 28. Riding with Keith Batson on the front stretch of this racetrack here. Let's see how fast they go into turn number 1. Batson 178 miles an hour, 179, 180, 181 miles an hour to turn number 1. Down about 153 to the middle of 1 and 2. And that's about 165 through the 3 into turn number 2, excuse me. And he'll step on the gas as they come off the second turn. Falling behind his KB Enterprises teammate Becca Tellier, excuse me. And then turn number 3 at about 184 miles an hour in the third turn. As he runs side by side with Tellier, behind Tellier, and now side by side with Quentin Moore and Johnny Gardner as they run through, as they come off turn number 4. In the meantime, a new leader here, car 26, Sky Commons has taken the lead. Nope, Cole Deaver actually has the lead now. Commons actually led the lap before Cole did, but Commons now has the position now on. That's now 3rd position behind Charles Sanford, number 24, who now moves back into 2nd position. Meantime, they have pulled away from the 4th place car, Jay Jefferson, who's running with Dylan Poteet for 4th to 5th position. There's 21, Quentin Moore. In this mix here, as we now look at Johnny Gardner, the 7 cars, Ty Dent, Jesse Turner, Seth Cole, who started in the back of the pack, is now moved his way up into 13th position now. Riding with Seth Cole in the Bojangles Ford. And then turn number 1 at 182 miles an hour goes Seth Cole. And he goes into turn number 2 at 169 miles per hour. Now about 165 off the 2nd turn. And he'll draft off Quentin Moore as they go down to the back stretch. See how fast he goes. 179 miles an hour, 180, 81, 82, 184 miles an hour into turn number 3. About what we saw Keith Batson do earlier. Batson, I should say, Seth Cole gets by Jesse Turner for position. And let's see if that moves Seth up in this race. Car number 98, the Bojangles Ford, rounds across the start-finish line. Seth, this time by clock, in the 9th position. But about to lose that to Jesse Turner now as Turner moves inside for 9th. And actually takes 8th to boot as well as Seth gets hung up behind his buddy Dylan Poteet. And meantime, Cole Deaver still has the lead right now as we go through the field here. Preston Porter's in 11th position. 12th is Keith Batson. And actually, Batson's about ready to move inside. Batson's actually about to move inside of Plord. That's for 11th spot. 13th is Becca Tellier. 14th right now is Ty Dent. 15th, William Bruck. 16th is Jessica Shelton. 17th right now is Joshua Osborne, who's moved this way through the field nicely. Started this race in 31st position, has now moved up to 18th spot right now. So Osborne, who comes in this race in the top 5 in the standings, I think he was 4th or 5th, something like that. I think he's 5th in the standings coming into this event. So Osborne looking solid right now. Pole sitter for the event, Diego Yepes. There he is right there in the 1 car, getting underneath Jose Mills and Nathan Ormond. Yepes was 23rd the last time by. He's dropped down to 23rd after starting from the pole. Now takes 22nd position away from Jose Mills he's got Zachary Fitzwater behind him, as is the 25 car of Jonathan Zorlin. Last lap speed for Ormond, last lap for Yepes, 170.665 miles per hour. Some cars, see what the fast lap of the race so far, fast lap of the race so far is Dylan Young at 172.894 miles per hour. So they qualified, so they're running faster than they qualified. They qualified at 170 miles per hour. Zorlin in 24 positions. Fitzwater's 23rd. 25th is Jose Mills. Then James Henry, 26th. 27th is Cat Besson. 28th, TJ Dent. Kyle Matthews, meanwhile, is in 29th position right now in the Mellow Yellow Pontiac. The defending series champion has won twice so far this season. And both of them were on short tracks at Richmond and again at Bristol. Both of them were wreck fests, as a matter of fact. Riding inside Kyle Matthews' car as they go through turns 1 and 2, or turn number 1 now through turn number 2 as they go into. As he's picked up 3 positions now just to that section of the track as he bumped TJ Dent right out of the way. So Matthews was 29th. Now he moves up to the 26th position right now as he now tries to go inside of Fitzwater. Matthews has got a very fast car right now, and that number 42 car just qualified poorly. He hopes to get himself up in position, maybe not to win, but possibly get himself up into contention to get a decent point, to get a decent finish in this race. As now Jose Mills is ducked in behind Matthews. Matthews now up to the 26th position, as we mentioned before. Caution free so far at the Brickyard. The leader is still Cole Deaver, as Mitchell Collins has dropped to the back of the pack here. There is Deaver, the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, leading Dylan Young in 2nd position. 3rd right now is Jay Jefferson. He's got past his teammate Charles Sanford, who's about to lose his spot to Sky Cummins in 26. Cummins in the Quicker State Ford, Sanford in the DuPont Chevy. Top 5 running right there together. Sanford in the 4th position. Sky Cummins running in 5th at the moment. Battle for 6. Keith Batson getting by Dylan Poteet. It's now Johnny Gardner with a power move to the inside of Preston Plord. And that's going to move Gardner up to, I think, 8th position. Plord dropping the 9th, maybe 10th now, as here comes Cole. Here comes the 21 car of Quentin Moore, but Moore falls in behind Plord right now and gets a draft off the 4 car of William Brock. Brock runs in 11th position. 12th right now is Turner. 13th. 13th is Jesse. 12th is Jesse Turner. 13th is Seth Cole. 14th is Ty Dent. 15th is now Joshua Osborne as he again Osborne moving his way through the field nicely in 15th position in car number 15. Becca Tellier, 16th position. Jessica Shelton, 17th at the moment in the Budweiser Ford. Shelton started this race in 6th position, but it's fallen back just a bit. In the meantime, they're still battling with there as they got Preston Plord caught up on the high side now. Gardner has already moved by. Now Quentin Moore's going to try it again at 21 car, but does not seem that cannot seem to muster enough speed on the front stretch here. But he holds off Brock for the moment. Now Jesse Turner's going to go by, going to get a draft off the 21 car. And now Dylan Young's been shuffled to the back now as here comes Jay Jefferson for 2nd place now. Sanford up to 3rd and Sky comes up to 4th. Commons still drafting off the 24 car as they come through the north end of the racetrack. 5 cars you can throw a blanket over right there, and they have got a rather substantial lead right now over 6th place right now, which is currently being held by Keith Batson. And here comes Jay Jefferson for the lead on Cole Deaver in the turn number 1. And he's going to get Sky Commons to follow him. And meantime, Sanford tries to follow Deaver. Posty sounds like a 6th position away. And now Deaver dropping back some spots over there as he's dropped from 1st to back to 3rd spot, maybe even 4th now. As here comes Dylan Young, maybe 5th now, because here comes Sanford. He dumps Deaver for Dylan Young. And Young numbers in the 3rd spot. Sanford trying to get past Deaver for 4th. And what this is doing is possibly letting that 6th place car close up that top 5 spot there. As there you see Poteet pulling ahead of Johnny Gardner and Keith Batson. And meantime, we got a battle for the lead here about to develop here. Jay Jefferson in 5, Sky Commons in 26. Commons a big fan of IndyCar racing as well as NASCAR, but he like everybody else would like to get a win here at the prestigious Brickyard. Dylan Young, though, 2nd position. He's the man who won at Michigan this season, the first race up there. And we'll be heading back to Michigan 2 races from now. The next race on the tour actually will be at Watkins Glen, the 3rd and last road course race of the season. Dylan Young falling in behind Commons here. Here comes Young to the inside. Commons led a lap earlier in the race here. And here comes Dylan Young to the inside. Commons leads the lap here in the 26 car, but when they get into turn number 1, it's going to be Dylan Young to the inside. Jefferson was in the 3rd position now. Sanford in the 4th position. And here comes Poteet for 5th inside of Cole Deaver. And meantime, Johnny Gardner and Keith Batson have tandem draft their way almost to the back of the pack here, almost to the back of this bunch of cars. In fact, they are just about up on the bumper of Deaver's car for that back too. So instead of a 5 car race, we now have about a 7 or 8 car race right now. In fact, it will be an 8-car battle right here. Batson wins 7th. Gardner wins in 8th position right now. And Dylan Young's now taking the lead away from Sky Commons now. Top 4, nose to tail. 2, 26, 5, and 24. And the yellow flag is flown for the first time here today at the Brickyard. And it's Kyle Matthews, car 42. That apparently is spun, as well as the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. Zorland's crashed. Quentin Moore's crashed. So the first caution of the day flying on lap number 15 here at the lap 16 here at the Brickyard. So we were less than 10 laps from the finish. Quentin was running 9th position as he went into turn number 1, and he went into turn number 1. Overdrove the turn, I think, but I think something mechanically went wrong in that 21 car. As you see right there on the telemetry, he has slowed down to 100 miles per hour through the middle of turn 1. He goes back down the track there. Shelton misses him. I think Winkle misses him. He's gonna go back. He's gonna go down the track right there. And what was Zorland thinking? He goes right into the back of Moore's car, and then right there Matthews gets into him, as does Fitzwater. And whoo, nice remember who was that? The 9 of Simon Bloomfield. He did a great job missing that crash, as did I think Jose Mills in 31. Those two barely missed him, but yeah, I don't know what the 25 was thinking right there. He comes back, he goes up the track and just rams the back of that 21 car of Quentin Moore. And I think I seriously do think Quentin had a problem with his car. Yeah. Twitched into turn 1 and said something broke in the car. And well, if it wasn't broke then, it certainly is now, so. Well, we have an in-car camera from Kyle Matthews' car. Matthews was running 22nd and moving up nicely when it all happened. Let's ride with Kyle Matthews on this one. So we're still under yellow here, as Matthews and Fitzwater both have made their pit stops, and they are going to Quentin Moore's still sitting on pit road. So Matthews running 34th and Fitzwater running 33rd at the moment, while Zorland and Quentin Moore both stay on pit road after their dilemma they got into here in this race here. And they, by the way, are the second and third cars out of the race here. Quentin Moore and Jonathan Swindle both because of crashes, and pole sitter Diego Yepes out of the race because of a clutch failure on his number 1 Skull Classic Ford. So we're going to have one more lap until we get the race started here. Dylan Young is the leader of the race. Second position is Sky Commons. Excuse me. Third spot is Jay Jefferson. Fourth is Charles Sanford. Fifth right now is Dylan Poteet. Cole Deaver. Sixth. Seventh is Keith Batson. Johnny Gardner. Eighth. Preston Plord. Ninth. 10th is Seth Cole. 11th is Joshua Osborne. 12th is Ty Dent. 13th is Jesse Turner. William Brock 14th, Jessica Shelton's 15th, 16th is Zach Winkle, 17th is Nathan Ormond, Becca Tilliard 18th, 19th Simon Bloomfield, 20th is Jose Mills, 21st is James Henry, 22nd right now is Rob Evans, 23rd Paul Minnick, 24th is Kat Batson, 25th is Mike Becker, 26th is Ryan Brommer, Mitchell Gonser is 27th at the moment, 28th Eli Bright, 29th TJ Dent, 30th is Riley Spurley, 31st is Vince Almarego. Nicholas Wade's 32nd, 33rd Zachary Fitzwater, and 34th is Kyle Matthews. That's how they remember now. So 34 cars still running in this race here today, and we will have 4 laps to go when this race restarts and see who wins here at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Question is, will it be Dylan Young? Will it be Sky Commons? Will it be Jay Jefferson? Will it be Charles Samper? Or will it be anybody else behind that bunch? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a whole lot of fun here in these last 4 laps. Dylan Young leads them down. Green flag is out. 4 laps to go here in Indy. Dylan Young, number 2, goes on the track. Here comes Sky Commons to the inside in the quicker state Ford. To the inside, they're side by side. Stanford's going to go with the 26 car. Dylan Young, is he going to pull? Is he going to throw the block in the turn number 3? Yes, he will, I think. Yes, he does. Commons had to back up just a little bit. They're coming through the third and fourth turn, through the third turn, as he's now alongside Jefferson for second place here. Sanford moves low, well, Sanford must have backed up big time, because he and Cole Deaver didn't quite get the run off that fourth and last turn. That's going to drop him back a few spots here. And meantime, Sanford and Deaver, they're both going to try to move their way back up through the field here. Meantime, a gaggle of cars. Joshua Osborne now moves inside of Keith Batson for 10th place, I believe. Jesse Turner's falling in, and now there's Seth Cole. Jessica Shelton is also in this mix. And now Osborne has cleared Batson. I think that's going to move Osborne into 10th place right now in that Motorcraft Ford. After starting this race, I believe, in 31st position. So Osborne, I think, has got to be the biggest mover-uppers in this field, as they now have come for 2 laps to go. Jesse Turner's now falling in behind. Is now about to move up. Actually, excuse me, Osborne's actually 8th. Then Turner's 9th. 10th is Batson. 11th is Seth Cole. And 12th is Shelton. And meantime, battle for the win is about to happen here. Jay Jefferson, moves inside of Sky Commons. That's for second place. Dylan Young is loving all this. He's saying, come on, battle back there, guys. I'm going to take off and win this thing here at the Brickyard. But we're not done yet. It's going to be the white flag for Dylan Young. It's 1 left to go. Jay Jefferson tries to move inside of Sky Commons. They need to draft up to Dylan Young if they have a shot to win this race. Commons, Jefferson, and Poteet. Jefferson moves inside of Commons right now for the second place position. That may be all she wrote right there, possibly, if they in before they have anything for Young. As Commons is now going backwards on the 26 car. And meantime, Poteet looks inside of Jefferson for second place here. It could be the Dylans 1-2, possibly. Going into turn number 3, Dylan Young. Number 2, the more genuine draft Ford. Rounds to third and fourth. Rounds to turn 3. Now has his eye on turn 4. And here comes to turn number 4. Does not pull a J.R. Hildebrand. And if they come up of the fourth turn, they come. And the number 2, Miller genuine draft Ford has done it. Dylan Young has won the Brickyard 400 at Indy. Dylan Young, his second victory of the season, and his second one is very, very big. The Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dylan Young gets the win here today. What a showing by the number 2 Miller Jr. Draft Pontiac, as he takes home the win here today. Dylan Poteet's going to come home, actually third. Jay Jefferson actually finished second in this race. Then Poteet's third. Charles Sanford fourth. Preston Plord ends up with a 5th place run. 6th is Sky Commons. 7th is Cole Deaver. 8th, Joshua Osborne. 9th is Jesse Turner. In 10th position, We'll go to Keith Batson. So the finishing order here today, Dylan. So Dylan Young gets the win here today, averaging 140.296. Well, the game froze up on me and crashed on me, so I had to do the results this way. So anyway, we did get the race in by the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis, so we are back here after some technical difficulties. But anyway, Dylan Young is your winner here today as we go through the final run, finishing. Rest of the finishing order. We're going to be the top 10 already in this race. Average speed 140.296 here. 11th place, we'll go to Seth Cole. 12th to Jessica Shelton. William Brock 13th. 14th, we'll go to Johnny Gardner. 15th, Ty Dan. A good day for the Pennzoil team. Simon Bloomfield, a nice 16th place finish. Becca Taylor 17th. Excuse me. 18th is Nathan Orman. 19th, James Henry. Kat Batson comes home 20th. 21st on down, Zach Winkle 21st, Rob Evans 22nd, Brian Brommer, Mike Becker 24th, Eli Bright, Jose Mills, Ty Dent, Riley Spurley-Tube, Paul Minnick and Vince Almerego the top 30. Then the rest of the lead lap cars, Vince Almerego 30. Paul Minnick actually was 29th, Vince Almerego 30th, Nicholas Wade 31st, 32nd Mitchell Collins, Kyle Matthews 33rd, and Zachary Fitzwater 34th. Bad day for both those drivers points-wise, at least for Matthews' standpoint points-wise as well. Cars out of the race were Quentin Moore with a crash, Jonathan Zorla with a crash. They were in the same crash together. And Diego Yepes had a clutch failure, and that dropped him in the 37th position. So that will do it here today at Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in the Brickyard 400. As congratulations again to Dylan Young, the winner of the Brickyard 400 for season 21. Like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the Short Sports Gaming Channel. Sports and Gaming Channel. We get everything on the channel. We get NNSCRA gaming videos. Whatever person on the Instagram for this channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's. Please be sure to check out the Last of Us Last Pizza Extras and Hershey's Cup Series and the Coors Light Truck Series. And also in full swing, Seth Cole's Skittles Super Speedway Series. Please be sure to check those ones out here also all on this channel, as well as our other NNSCRA series, including the Budweiser All Pro Series from Michael Norman and the Marvel Studios Cup Series from Levi McIntyre. So that will do it here for the Brickyard 400. Congratulations again to Dylan Young, the winner at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Watkins Glen is next on the tour, and for now, James Walsh has been a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.